Hey there, this is Peter Baines, and I'm going to review the movie Attrition. Now, this movie is written by Steven Seagal, which actually piques my interest. Now, of course, this is a Steven Seagal movie, but Fan Shu Wong, I think that's his name, he has the second biggest role here, and he played in the story of Ricky O, which is legendary, and also the Ip Man movies. This movie is not like those movies. As I said, this one is written by Steven Seagal. It starts off almost like a documentary with Steven Seagal narrating, and he says something like, how do you combat evil in a world that has lost its way? Which is pretty cool, I think. Now, it has a serious approach. Steven Seagal's character, he was a soldier, but now he's put the war behind him and he's helping people. Almost like a doctor or a volunteer or some sorts. And yeah, he's living a peaceful life. This character seems closer to Steven Seagal's real-life persona, or at least how he wants to be perceived, I guess. He's down to earth, philosophical, a lover of life, and if need be, deadly. He is full of wisdom and helps people in distress. He helps reconnecting families, and overall, he's just a good guy. The biggest problem of the movie is, however, the main character and Steven Seagal's portrayal. He plays it too safe with this down-to-earth character, not stylizing his approach at all, which can be a total snoozer. Most fans of Steven Seagal, I think, would prefer him overplaying being the cool dude, which he does in like most of his more famous contributions to action cinema. And if not, they would want him to play it good, like Jean-Claude Van Damme does in The Bouncer and JCVD. You know, Van Damme, he pulls off this believable drama. Steven Seagal really doesn't. But all this aside, you quickly lose interest in the story anyway. Some gangster leader or a psychopath, really, he terrorizes the people of the village. Steven Seagal, he has mysterious dreams. And he talks to people, he helps them, he talks a lot to them, with his soft voice. Then he's begged to take down this evil gangster leader. But Steven Seagal, he's reluctant because he's put his violent past behind him. He's over it, the violence is out. But of course, in the end he has to listen to his consciousness. You poke a bear for too long, you get Aikido. So what he does is he rounds up this team of real badasses, low budget Mission Impossible team, almost, yeah, which I really would prefer he didn't. I would rather see Steven Seagal just be this one-man army and take on all the bad guys. But no. So they're scouting, they're on the lookout, and then they gather around this table and exchange information. Yeah, and I have to say, there's this funny scene actually that shows us that Steven Seagal was actually, he was moved by the Me Too movement. There's this scene when he's with his Mission Impossible crew and he's informing them of his plan, and he's talking to this lady called Ying Ying, and he says something like, Ying Ying, I want you to dress as a customer. You can dress real sexy, but that's up to you. Which is, there's that. It's up to her at least. The movie, however, reels itself in a bit at the end, or at the last 20 minutes of the movie. There are more fights, more stylized scenes, and most of the credit should go to Fan Shu Wong, who has the best fighting scenes here, but also Steven Seagal. He has a few good fighting moments, but they're all too short. Now, overall, I think Attrition was too low-key for me. It had too little nerve. The build-up was slow, and it doesn't really blow you away at the end. There are some fancy stuff going on, though. There's a cool scene where you get this gruesome murder played backwards, which is pretty cool. And there are some cool fights, with a classic setup, but they're all too short. To sum it up, it's easy to see that Seagal didn't really want to make an action movie. He wanted to make a movie with wisdom and a message, which he also ends the movie with, talking softly about using martial arts the right way and being good, etc. This is not a significant movie in Steven Seagal's filmography at all. But it was kind of fun. It's not the worst. You gotta give credits to the credits though, because You know, while the credits are rolling, you get to see Steven Seagal playing the blues live in concert with the rest of the crew dancing, which is pretty awesome. Let one thing be clear. I think Steven Seagal is totally awesome. Nothing can mess up his legacy. Not even this movie.